If what I heard in America is anything to go by, we are in for a big market crash. So you may have seen the clip of the panel discussion I took part in the recent EXP conference in Las Vegas. And as part of that panel discussion, I was asked by James Huang, who's the head of EXP Commercial globally, what would I say to an agent if I was in a coaching relationship with them, if they said to me, we're in for a crash, there's all this trouble in the real estate industry, what can I do to prepare myself? And I said to James, if an agent were to ask me, how do I prepare for a shifting market? There are three very clear things that I would tell them to do. What I want to do over the next couple of videos that I'll produce for you, I want to go through the three answers I gave, because I had such a short time on the panel. I basically just named the three and then we moved on. So I want to just unpack them a little bit. The first piece of advice I gave was the following. Let me just play the clip to you from the panel discussion.
So, yeah, I've been a coach for a long time, and if I was accosted by a desperate agent in the hallway outside and they said to me, okay, I want to be coached and I want to be held accountable to the right things and I'm terrified of this changing market, what must I do, Stephen? There are really three things that we'd get them accountable to immediately. These are the three things I would tell them, and this is just me, I'm being honest. The first thing I'd tell them to do is just have faith. Don't be fearful. And I'm not talking, when I say have faith, I don't mean wishful thinking, I mean pray, Jesus is a good shepherd, and it doesn't matter how low the valley gets or how high the mountain is you got to get over, he knows how to get you through. So just trust him, pray, and have faith. You can't go into the future with fear, so you've got to be believing.
So, let's address the elephant in the room. Is that not a highly unorthodox and rather unusual answer for a business conference, especially given the fact that I was sitting in front of 6,000 agents at a conference in Las Vegas? And the first thing I want to say is that was a completely honest answer. If you as an estate agent were to come to me and say, what can I do to prepare myself for what's going to happen in the world's economy in the coming months, that is the first thing I would say to you. And what I want to do is just justify or defend this as an answer. Fear, my friend, will paralyze you. Fear is your biggest enemy when you are an entrepreneur, because fear does a number of things. Number one, fear paralyzes you from action. It stops you from taking action. Why? Because when you're fearful, you can't take risks. You can't step forward, because every step you take, you think that something's going to go wrong. And so people get paralyzed by fear and they don't take action. And that is the very worst thing you can do coming into a shifting market. You've got to be out there proactive, taking action. And you can't do that if you're full of fear. The other thing fear does is it hampers creativity. I've seen this in my own life, where I can get out of an emotional down moment, where I can get out of the kind of depressive moods we can get in when things are tough in business, and I can once again raise my gaze, get confident, feel like, no, everything's going to be fine. All of a sudden, I start to see opportunities that I didn't see before. I even start seeing potential new businesses or new lines of business or new opportunities to create income, because that's what keeps us alive. That's what keeps new opportunities flowing in. And you can't be creative when you are fearful. So, what is the antidote to fear? Well, unlike what many motivational speakers will tell you, the antidote to fear is not be positive, get yourself up in the morning, slap yourself through the face 3 times, you can do it, look yourself in the mirror, say your affirmations, I'm the best, I'm good. That's not the antidote to fear. I'm sorry, I would be dishonest with you if I said to you that I think you can work yourself up to being free of fear. Telling someone who is fearful to work themselves up through motivation and positivity to not be fearful is like telling a drowning man to get up and swim for his life, to get up and walk on the water. He can't, he's drowning. The antidote to fear is faith. Faith is what drowns out fear. And what I say in that little clip is that when I say faith, I don't mean wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is a placebo. It doesn't work. It's like trying to drum yourself up to be positive. It might last for 5 minutes. Listen to your favorite song, get all pumped up. It doesn't last. If I'm going to be honest with you, this is what I believe about life. That there is a God who loves you, who created you with a purpose, who has done infinitely more than could be expected of him to love you, to save you, to have a relationship with you. And if you will just reach out your hand to him, he will reach out his hand to you and he will grip you for the rest of your life. This is what I believe. And this is what gives me confidence. It's not some fake sense of courage in the face of fear. It is knowing that I have been created by a loving God who sent his son to save me, who's done everything to win me back to himself, and who has said to me, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. And so if I can seek God, if I can hear his voice, if I know, no, he wants me to be in the real estate industry right now, I can then move forwards in confidence because the one who created the universe is the one who holds my life and my income and my family and my future in his hands. If God is for me, who can be against me? That is where I find courage in life. And that is where, my friend, you can find courage in life. In the love and fatherly care of God himself. Now that's why I told that audience, Jesus is a good shepherd. He will lead you through if you just follow him. Because that is what I genuinely believe about life. And that has been the testimony of my own life. And I want to make one other point here. It may be that as you seek the Lord, let's say you've never prayed before. You've never done this before. And you think, okay, well, Stephen does make some sense in this argument that he's putting to me that this universe didn't pop out of nowhere. There is a God, and maybe he does love me, and maybe he does have a plan for me. It may be that as you begin to seek him, that his voice will say to you, actually, I've got another plan for your life. Maybe you're not meant to be an estate agent, and that's fine. Then you can follow him as he opens doors for you and walk your path and your destiny out with him. I say to my kids, I've got 3 kids who are now transitioning into adulthood, and I say to them, guys, the worst thing you can do is try to chart the course of your own life. As I look back on my life, there is no way I could have planned the journey that the Lord has taken me on. He has opened doors, he has closed doors. As I have consistently prayed and sought him and asked for his counsel and his wisdom for the last 25 years of my professional career, he has led me on the most remarkable journey with miracle after miracle after miracle. I've said to my kids, the worst thing you can do is to try to figure it out yourself. I could never have made it up. The most exciting thing that you can do is just tuck in behind the one whose plan it is and follow him. So, is this an impractical piece of advice to give to estate agents? Pray and have faith, don't be fearful. No, it is the most practical piece of advice I can give you as a business coach. That's just me being honest. Well, I hope that connects with you at some level. And then what we're going to do in our next video is I'm going to move on to the second piece of advice I gave. So I'll see you in the next video.